Shalom and welcome to this week's Hebrew class. As usual, we are going through the book of John, which can be rendered in Hebrew as Yehu-Hanan, but it can also be in the modern Hebrew as Yochanan. And we are dealing with chapter 5, verses 41 to 44. So let us begin. And firstly, we begin by looking at the nakud, the vowel markings, and they're represented here to help us in our use of the vowels so that we know what it represents. Also, I just want to reiterate that a zere, which is this one, is like a longer E sound, whereas a segol is a shorter E, and that happens the same here as well. But as we go through, we will see that. And I've also given you these great resources which will help so much. We've got the Do It in Hebrew Dictionary for the root words, and this site which gives us transliterations and translations, very useful. Okay, so let us begin. And of course we're dealing with 41, represented with a mem, which has a value of 40, and an aleph, a value of 1. So we go through the letters as we do each week. Lamed aleph, aleph, kuf, chet, kaf, vet, because there's no dot in that one, vav, dalet, mem, bayet, because of the dot, nun, yod, aleph, dalet, mem, fit. And now we go through and read it. Lo, which means not, kach, I shall take. And why is it I shall take? Because the aleph is used as a pronoun, as it says here. It's I. And of course, the root of it is lakach, which is a cold verb to take. From a Talmudic sense, it means to acquire. And I've also given you the masculine noun, which is lekach, which means a lesson. And as we can see, a lesson is something that you can take in to learn something. And then we have kavod, meaning honor. Now, of course, kavod is a masculine noun meaning honor, respect, esteem, or even glory. And it is mi b'nei, from the sons of. Why is it of? Because of the ending. We've got here this zere with the yod, and it means of, because it's a construct form. And it is Adam. Adam meaning man or mankind. So therefore, the translation is, I shall not accept honor from the sons of men. So we see Yeshua speaking there about receiving honor also. He doesn't take it from man. He's not reliant on man's honor. And therefore we read, Lo ekach kavot mi b'nei Adam. And of course the translation, not I shall take honor from the sons of man. And then we come to 42a, represented with a mem, which has a value of 40, and a vayet, a value of 2. Then we have an aleph, a kaf, a nun savit. That's a nun at the end of a word, which is different than the normal nun. Then we have a yod dalet, iron, which is generally silent, so therefore I've given it a white color. And then tav, yod. Aleph, tav, kaf, mem savit. Again, it's a mem at the end of a word, different than the normal mem. Kaf, yod, aleph, yod, nun savit, aleph, hey, vayet, because there's no dot, and tav. So we read it. Akin. Indeed. If you look down here, akin is an adjective or adverb. It means indeed, surely, truly. And I've also given you iken, which is a PL verb to point out, to locate. I'm just showing you that with just a change in vowel markings, you got a completely different word. So we've got to learn to identify them. Next word, yadati. I know. Now this is a different case where the T at the end also means I. So I know, because yada means to know. And then we have et, which is a grammar marker, kem, et kem, which is grammar marker you. It's just indicating that that's like the subject, you. And it's a plural form of you, and that's why it's kem. Key for, ein meaning not, ahavat, the love of. Again, with the tav ending, it's also a construct form, the love of. Right? And then we have also ahav, which is a kal verb, to like, to love. And then we have ahava, which is a feminine noun for devotion, passion, or fondness. And so now we can read that. And it is Akein Yadati et Kem Ki Ein Ahavat. Indeed I know, grammar marker you, for not the love of. And then we come to 42b. We have an aleph, lamed, hey, yod, mem sofit, bet, kuf, resh, bet, kaf, mem sofit. And we read it, Elohim, which we know means Elohim, or mighty one, or God in English. Bekir be kem, in and your, and then midst. In your insides or in your midst, right? In your insides, so it means within you, as it has here. And of course the your is again plural. So the translation, the love of Elohim within you. So not to have the love of Elohim within you. So it is, I've given you karav, which as a kal verb, it means to approach, to draw near. But as a masculine noun, we have kerev. Actually, that's karav. But, and it means insides, innards, or interior. And then we also have kirav, which is a masculine noun meaning struggle or combat, because it means to be close, right? So that's why it's related to this one. So now we will read that. Elohim bekir be kem. Elohim in your insides. So now we come to 43. It is a mem and a gimel. And of course the gimel is the third letter of the alphabet. So that's how we get 43. So we have on the left nun yod, hey nun hey, veyet aleph tav yod, bayet shin mem safit, aleph veyet yod, lamed aleph kuf, bayet lamed tav mem safit. And we read it, ani, which can be I. Hine, behold, Vati, I come. Be Shem, in the name, and I've added of. Avi, meaning my father. Lo, not. Kir bal tem, you receive. So let's look at what kibel means. This is a similar, it's slightly different, but it's the same root. Kibel, which is a piel verb, and it means to receive, to accept, to take, to get, to welcome. And I've given a note here. The piel verbal stem can express intensive, resultative, or causative action in an active voice. And that's why we're using receive. It's like resultative, not you receive. Behold, I have come in the name of my Father, but you have not received. So now we can read that. Ani, hine, vati, beshem, avi, lo, kir, bal, tem. I behold, I come in the name of my Father, not you receive. And so we now come to 43b. We have an aleph, a tav, a yod, a vav, an aleph, a mem sofit, a yod, veit, aleph, chet, resh, beit, shin, mem sofit, ayin, zade, mem, vav. And we read ot, which means me, ve, im, yavo, and if, that's im, he shall come. Normally when there's no pronoun, you can insert he. He shall come. And if he shall come, and then it's who, which is acher, meaning another, beshem, in the name, and I've added of, atzmo, meaning his self, which can be translated himself. So here I've given you achar as a prep, it means after. Right, I'm just giving you that because as acher it means another. So there's two, so not to be confused. And then we've got etzem as a masculine noun means oneself or himself. It's very specific. So therefore accepted. So you accepted me. If another comes in his own name, and then we've got a comma, so we're going to quickly read that. Oti ve'im yavo acher beshem atzmo, me, and if he shall come another in the name of his self or himself. And now we come to 43c, and we have a aleph, a tav, a vav, a tav, a kuf, a bet, a lamed, vav. Oto, meaning him. Te kabelu, te kabelu, you shall receive. It's a second person pronoun. The tav often tells you it's a second person pronoun. So that's you rather than they because of the second person tav at the front. So it helps us understand. You shall receive. So it's like talking to the person. You shall receive. Or to the group, right? Second person pronoun. In his own name, him shall you accept. So it can be accept or receive, right? Okay, so we read it. Oto te kabelu. Him you shall receive. And as we said before, it can mean to receive, to accept, to welcome. And so now we come to 44a, and we have a mem with value of 40 and a dalet value of 4, the fourth letter of the alphabet. Then we have a left yod, kaf sofit, tav vav kaf, lamed vav. Lamed hey, aleph mem yod, nun sofit, aleph tav mem sofit, hey lamed kuf chet yod mem sofit, kaf veit vav dalet. And we read it. Ache, which can mean how. Tuklu, you shall be able. Now again, we got the tav in the front, so we know it's second person, so it's you. And it also is an imperfect form, you shall. And then what is the root? Now, interestingly, the root is yakol, which is a kol verb, to be able, to be allowed, or could have. and and therefore I've given a note. In the word tuklu, we find the yod being replaced by the vav, which is common as they are interchangeable. And that makes it easier to read because it's tuklu, you shall be able. It can also be translated as are you able? How are you able? Or how you shall be able. Leha-amin, meaning to believe. Because if the root of that is he-amin, and it means to believe. To believe. Atem, which means you, again, and then I've added are just so that it's readable. You are ha-lokhim, the one taking. It's a participle form, but its root, of course, is lakach, which is a kol verb to take, to acquire, or to win. So if we looked at it here, we've got the root there, but it's like a participle form. So therefore I translated it, the one taking, as a participle. Kavod, meaning honor. So how are you able to believe, you who receive or accept the honor? And so now we can read that. And it is Eik tuklu leha-amin atem ha-lokhim kavod. How you shall be able to believe you are the one taking honor. So, and then the translate, how are you able to believe you who receive the honor? Which sounds a little bit different than the one taking honor. But in this translation, it says you, the one taking honor. Which I guess is the same as receiving it. Depends what point of view you're sort of writing. And so we come now to 44b, and we have an aleph, a yod, a shin, mem, aleph, tav, resh, ayin, hey, vav, vav, aleph, tav, hey, kaf, vayet, vav, dalet, aleph, shin, resh. And we read it, ish, meaning a man. Me'et, from, and then as a grammar marker, re'ehu, his colleague. The who is his, and it can be his companion, even his friend. If we look down here, it is rea, which is a noun meaning friend, comrade, colleague, companion. And then we have ve'et ha-kavod. And grammar marker, the honor, ashir, that. So you who receive honor from one another, but the honor that. And then we read it. Ish me'et re'ehu ve'et ha-kavod asher. A man from grammar marker, his colleague, and grammar marker, the honor that. And now we come to 44c. We have a mem, an aleph, a tav. Hey, aleph, lamed. Hey, yod, mem, savit. Hey, yod, chet, yod, dalet, lamed. Aleph, tav, vayet, kuf, shin, vav. Then we read me'et, meaning from, with the grammar marker. Ha-Elohim, the Elohim. Ha-Yachid, the only one. Lo, not, tevakeshu, you shall seek. So now I've given you also Yachid, which as an adjective means alone, sole, only, unique, singular. And then the root of the last word is bikesh, PL verb to request, to seek, to want. So you shall seek. So therefore, but do not seek the honor that is from the Elohim only. So now we read it. Me'et ha Elohim ha yachid lo tevakeshu. From grammar marker the Elohim, the only one, not you shall seek. So now we come to our revision, just to see how we're going with this one. We have a mem, we know that's a value of 40, and a left value of 1, so we're in 41. Lo, meaning not, kach, I take, kavod, which is honor, mi b'nei, from the sons of Adam, man. Not I shall take honor from the sons of man. Then we have a mem 40, ve 2, we're in 42. Ken, indeed, yadati, I know, or I do know. Et, grammar marker kem, you. Ki for, ein not, ahavat, the love of. Indeed or truly, I know, grammar marker you, for, not the love of. Elohim, bekir be kem, in your insides or in your midst. Elohim, in your insides. In other words, within you. And now we come to Mem 40, Gimel 3. Ani, I, Hine, behold, Vati, I came, Beshem, in the name of, we could add, Avi, my father, Lo, not, Ki, Bal, Tem, you receive. I, behold, I come, or I've come. In the name of my Father, not you receive. Oti, me, the im yavo, and if he shall come, acher, another, beshem, in the name, atzmo, his self or himself. Me, and if he shall come, another, in the name of his self or himself. Oto, him, te kabelu, you shall accept or receive. Him you shall receive or accept. And now we come to 44, represented with a mem and a dalet. Dalet being the fourth letter of the alphabet. And it is ache, which can mean how. Tuk lu, you shall be able. Leha'amin, to believe. Atem, you. Ha-lok, Chim, halochim, meaning the one taking, which can often be translated receiving. Kavod, meaning honor. How you shall be able to believe, you, the one taking honor. Ish, a man. Me'et, from grammar marker. Re'ehu, his companion. Ve'et, and, grammar marker, ha-kavod, the honor, asher, that. A man from, grammar marker, his colleague or companion, or friend, and grammar marker, the honor that is me'et, meaning from with the grammar marker, ha Elohim, the Elohim, ha Yachid, the only one, lo not, tevakeshu, you shall seek. From grammar marker, the Elohim, the only one, not you shall seek. So it can be the only one, or the unique one, or the singular one, as we saw before. And then finally, we also get a chart of our vowels again, just so that we're so familiar with them that we know this is a kamatz, and as a kamatz, it's got a longer A sound, ka. And then we have patak, which has a shorter A, and then we have zere, so it's a longer E sound, and then we have segol, a shorter E. Then we have shava, which is the symbol that breaks up the word into syllables. Then we have cholam, that's the O sound. Then we have shuruk, that's like the U, but it's the shorter U. And then we have kubutz, a bit longer sound. Then we have a combination, shavar and segol, and it's called a kataf segol. Then we have chirik, which is your I sound. And then we have a combination again of kataf patak. And then again we have a shavar and a kamatz, called a kataf kamatz. And just to complete our lesson, again, we have our resources, which we do encourage you to use because they are extremely helpful. And then we have, of course, all our values. So we're going to go backwards. Taf is 400, Shin 300, Resh 200, Kuf 100, Zadi 90, Fe 80, Ayin 70, Samek 60, Nun 50, Mem 40, Lamed 30, Kaf 20, Yod 10, Tet 9, Chet 8, Zion 7, Vav 6, Hey 5, Dalet 4, Gimel 3, Vayet 2, Aleph 1. And that's just to help us remember that we can just grab a letter. See Yod, and we know it's 10. We see Zade, we try to remember that it's 90. So we learn to identify the values of the letters. So I'd like to thank you for joining us, and we do pray that you are blessed by learning the Hebrew, because we do believe it is the holy tongue. And may you have a blessed week in Yeshua, our Master and our King. Amen.